Oh, so that noise means recording is in progress, I take it.
Yes. How you got that?
Well, yeah, that's true. Although it is in English, unlike I've got a speaker downstairs which somehow has reverted to Italian. So whenever I check the volume on it, it tells me in Italian, and I don't know what it means.
Probably something to do with the cables.
Enough about the cables. Come on.
Warning, this podcast may contain bad language and inane talk about cables. And it's also part 2 of the wedding spectacular.
Spectacular?
Yeah, I was going to say special, and then I turned it into spectacular. And then
I like it, spectacular. I'm going to use that a lot more.
It just sounds like I have a bit of a lisp.
Welcome to Seesaw Podcast
with T, Cleves, and Selina.
Each week, offering up a blurry perspective on life.
And welcome everybody back to Seesaw. We are back with Selina, of course.
I didn't think I was meant to be back yet for this bit.
No, you're back.
You're back.
Okay.
You're back for this bit.
Okay.
If you're here, you might as well say something. We're not going to pretend you're not here.
We've seamlessly blended these wraparounds to make it look like you've never left.
Yes.
Okay.
And now that you've said that, what I'm going to say is what you're about to hear is from the first episode, which is mostly the Hindu side of things, but from the cut, it isn't an entire episode, and we want to get Selina back on to talk about the big day. So,
here's not the big day.
So, as far as sort of like you said, like you want to be able to go out and touch everything, and of course, it's costing a lot of money. Weddings always do. So, what's your plan of attack for getting the most experience for you? Have you got things that you're going to be doing, or ideas about the day, which might change it from what people think is a conventional wedding? Because of course, you want to enjoy it as well. It's not like just walking along and knowing that other people are enjoying all your hard work.
Yeah, I've said to Santi to make sure he takes me around to everybody to talk to them, to make sure I do get to speak to everyone, because I found that my Hindu, which I can talk about later, that even though that was my Hindu, I didn't get to interact with everyone in the way I would have liked, but maybe I should have advocated more for myself to do that. But that's something I've now learned at the wedding. I want to make sure I speak to all the guests and have that. I don't want the DJ music being super loud. That's another thing. Not being able to see and hear is like my worst nightmare. So I expect the music to be a bit lower so I can interact properly, and just not just for me, but for my other visually impaired friends as well. It just makes life a bit easier when you can do that. But other than those two main things, just not anything in particular. Again, as said, I'd like to see the venue before, if possible, so I can map it out in my head a little bit where I'm walking in my heels, and I never wear heels. I also thought that would be a good idea. But yeah, I hope people take lots of photos, and then I hope they describe the photos and don't just share them all in the WhatsApp group, and then I'm going to feel left out of my own wedding. That concerns me. Or if they share them on Facebook and there's no descriptions and it's my wedding, it's that to me again. And I want to know what everything is. I want to know every little detail. And I don't know if that's being a bit, I don't know, over the top and silly, but I just, I
don't think so. It's your work. You put the, you want it for your day.
Yeah. I'm having a fruit tree, which sounds really cool. It's like in the shape of a palm tree with a monkey hanging off it. And I really want to be able to feel that, but I don't suppose I'll be able to. I just need to imagine that. I can't really put my hand all over the fruit. But
wear gloves. You put a glove on and then just have a fondle around.
But also, I went when I had the alterations on my dress, because Wed to Be is great. You buy the dress in your size, but that actually made for 6'5" people, which I am not. So I had to get my dress shortened, and the lady that did it, she said, "Oh, do you have any sight at all?" I was like, "No." It's like, "Oh, that's such a shame because it's so beautiful and see the sparkle," and that made me feel a bit rubbish. And I felt like if I was a bit more sensitive, I would have cried, but I was brave.
Yeah, it's not what you want to hear, is it?
That's really, okay, yeah, I would really like to see this, and I would like to see everything and see everyone's faces and, their reactions to me walking down the aisle and stuff. But I hope I'm not going to let my visual impairment spoil the day. But I know I'm sure there are going to be difficulties because of my vision power. I can't escape it. That's life. Yeah, I'm sure little things will happen that I'll be like, oh, why didn't this happen? Or blah, blah, blah. But
have you got anyone doing a video?
Yeah, we've got a videographer.
Does it come with commentary?
No, so that's the thing as well. I think that's really visual because our wedding planners they post them all up onto YouTube. The videos. So we watched other people's videos, and it tends to be they put like a music track on in the background, and then you can hear the bit of talking of do you so and so take blah blah blah. But yeah, there's no. But at least someone can watch that with me afterwards and tell me everything. Yeah. Oh, so and so's face was like this. Or
can't you get them to do an audio track for it, and after they've seen it? And then they can describe it as you go on. That'd be good.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice. But
audio description companies out there, maybe, a little bit of a way in there. Audio described weddings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But my hen do. So I didn't have bridesmaids or anything. So I organised my own hen do. And doing so, I ended up doing it on the cheap because I was cost of living crisis. So I went to Bistro Live.
Into Bistro Live?
Yes, in Leicester though, not Nottingham.
No. I didn't think you were old enough for Bistro Live.
So I organised my hen do. There was like 14 of us that came. Two visually impaired friends and me, and then everyone else sighted. And I really wish I didn't organise it myself on reflection. So anyone who, has a stag or a hen, let someone else do it for you, because then I think you'll feel more special that someone's doing that for you. And why I went to a place where I don't drink alcohol. I've gone to a place where it's dancing on tables, loud music, alcohol, and I asked for, can I have the quietest table in the room? And they must have thought I was crazy. And can we swap they do a hen do package? Can I not have the alcohol shots and stuff? Can we change that to non-alcoholic? I danced on the table, but only with one of my friends on the table. And I felt a bit sad that I didn't dance with everyone at my hen do. Like, why didn't that happen? Why didn't people come and grab me and say, Selina, this is your night, let's dance and let's party? I felt like I sat in the middle of my table, but then conversation was really difficult. I felt people to my left were chatting, people to my right were chatting, and I was just stranded in the middle. I found really difficult. It's like all these little things that I didn't realise would happen. So I can imagine these kind of things will happen at my wedding as well. And I just felt a little bit rubbish afterwards. I had a good night on the whole, and everyone else said they had a good night, but something was missing.
On the bright side, though, you can take that away and try and make it a bit different for the wedding.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I feel like I should have advocated for myself a bit more because it was loud, though, and like trying to find people to talk to see where people were was really difficult. I just felt like I was stuck at times, even though I was with like my closest, my mum, my friends, and all the closest people to me, where you should feel you're most comfortable and familiar. I don't know, maybe I let myself down a bit there. But then I had another bridal brownie party. So I volunteered at Brownies on a Friday night, and last Friday they did me a brownie bridal shower, which was so cool, so cute. They sang to me. They all gave me gifts that they'd made, and they made me a tactile card, like really thoughtful, and all signed it and stuff like that. So that.
How good was it? Be honest.
It was good. We had champagne, and I was really worried because I don't drink. And it's like, we've got champagne, and they said, it's okay. It's apple juice and lemonade. It's like, phew. I was thinking, I'm gonna have to drink it if they had real champagne. I didn't want to say no. Look,
you could have passed it around the girls instead.
What did you do this week, girls? We got tanked.
No, that was nice. So that was nice. Someone else organising it for you, and they'd planned to do that way before I'd even planned my hen do. I didn't know the surprise for me, so that was nice. That's my tip for any future bride or groom: let someone else do the organising.
I wasn't involved in the wedding at all.
You didn't attend?
I was there. I had one job, and I nearly messed that up. So But at least with your hen do, like Cleve said, like it was a bit of a test run, and like now going into the wedding, sort of you're going to have to be a bit more pushy with Santi, and like I want to see these people and like be a bit more taking the lead on things, so you're getting the experience you want, because other people get to see things and like experience it in another way. So there's nothing wrong with you being a bit, I want to do this, I want to feel this, I want to have, go over there and chat to these people. Like it's just what you're going to have to do.
Yeah. I think it really brought it home to me at my hen do, like how difficult it is being blind sometimes. I think it's been a while since I've been out in a social situation like that. Yeah, it was surprising.
It's always a bit tricky, isn't it, when that gets brought back to you?
But...
Are there any speeches or anything at your wedding? I know you said you didn't have like a sort of bridal party, but
obviously you don't know my dad, and your listeners don't know my dad, but my dad's going to do a speech, but God knows it's not going to be a traditional dad speech at all. He's probably going to be off the cuff on the day, and he makes up stories all the time because he's been telling people it's always been my dream to get married in Gibraltar. The speech from my dad will be interesting. Santi's brother is best man. I think he's doing a speech, but he's quite an introvert, so I'm not sure if he is or isn't, or what's happening with that. Santi's doesn't want to do a speech, but I said I'm definitely doing a speech. So, nice. But I've not planned it or anything. I might just be, like daughter, like father. I might just go off the cuff as well.
Wing it.
Sometimes they're the best ones. You don't know where it's going to take you.
Yeah.
Mine was terrible at my wedding because no one was doing speeches, and then the maid of honor did a speech. No one knew about it. She did a speech, and then was afterwards, because she had a few glasses of champagne, said, "Oh, and now over to the groom." And I was like, "Thanks all for coming," and I just gave the mic back to her and just walked away. It's like, I have no speech. I'll go back to the bar. I've got a load of Germans to drink with. And welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that previously recorded footage. Soundage?
You can go soundage if you want.
Soundage. Sandwiches.
Jeez.
My brain is melting. So let's get into what is actually part 2, which is the discussion today. Selina, on your honeymoon, did you have a chance to listen to more episodes to give us feedback?
I've only listened to my episodes, and I'm a bit behind on your other episodes, I have to admit.
So you've been selective.
That sounds really egotistical. I've only listened to myself.
Am I in this one? Nope. Skip.
Feedback will come in due course, don't worry.
Well, let's hear for now then. Wedding feedback, man. How was it? How did it go?
Yes, happily married woman now.
Yes.
Are you taking your partner's surname?
Yes, I am now Mrs. Selina Prieto, but only on Facebook so far because it took me long enough to change it on there. Never mind doing the rest of the stuff. That's a whole nother headache.
Oh, your husband's Colombian, isn't he?
Yes.
I say that because you've mentioned before, and I used to work with a Colombian lady, and she had like 4 surnames.
What is he more proficient in, coffee or drugs?
Yes, that's the Colombian culture. Say he doesn't drink coffee, so
there's the answer.
What was Gibraltar like anyway? First off,
it's such a quirky place. It's like Britain in the 1990s. They've got like shops that we don't have anymore, like the Early Learning Centre and
Woolworths.
I wasn't surprised if there was a Woolworths there. I was just thinking exactly that.
Sweet pick a mix over there. That's where you go.
Yeah. But they've got like a Marks and Spencer's and Morrison's, although we didn't find the Morrison's.
Those things still exist here, right?
Yeah, but but just they've got the phone boxes still and stuff like that.
So what was the weather like? Because British is all about weather, and we had the ridiculous heat wave when you were out in Gibraltar, weren't you, at the time?
Yeah. So whilst you were all melting, we had 26 degrees, which was quite comfortable for me. I didn't feel hot at all in my dress. So I was pleased with the weather. And I was pleased with the wedding on the whole. There were a few blunders, but I can't complain. It is a risk getting married abroad, and so many other things could have gone wrong. So on the whole, it was a success.
What was the venue like? Did you go there in advance? Because you said you
were
going to go and scope it out a little bit.
Yeah, we landed on the Wednesday, but then on the Thursday morning, we had to go and do all the paperwork at the registry office. That was just all a bit confusing. We didn't really know what was happening. It was a very bizarre process they've got over there. It was just a lot of sitting and waiting. And
Let's ask you a question.
Yeah.
Are you married?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Why?
Oh, you know, the paperwork's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah. To be fair,
if you don't know what's going on in the paperwork, I'm just saying.
So you just got a Blockbuster loyalty card because Gibraltar
yeah.
I'm just anyway, after the paperwork we went to, we had meetings with our wedding planners, and then we went to visit the garden for the first time, which is where we got married. And I'm so glad I went beforehand so I could walk where I was going to be walking the next day. There wasn't really any steps to negotiate, which was good, but it was a little bit narrow and a little bit like broken paving stones, cobbly kind of. So there could have been trip hazards, but it was okay. And my dress did get caught because I had a long train. I did get a little bit stuck on the way, but yeah, it was okay.
It looked amazing, like the gardens on the video you shared with us.
Yeah, it was such a nice venue. It's so nice to be outside, and yeah, walking, like I said, down the aisle. It was like over the bridge and through the gardens. It was okay because people walk down the aisle like with their dad. Well, my dad, obviously, I walked with, so like linked arms. So it didn't feel like I was being guided as such because I couldn't see. I kind of like that, although then you can hear him on the video, him giving me directions like left a bit, do a U-turn. And then I think I was facing the wrong way at one point during the thing, and Santi told me, turn around. It's like, oh, okay. So little things like that. The actual ceremony was okay, other than they got my bouquet wrong. But I guess I wouldn't have known if they didn't tell me. That made me really angry. They just handed me my bouquet just before I was about to walk down and said, sorry, we couldn't get your blue flowers, which was like our whole theme. The blue, baby blue and white flowers are supposed to have. And I think they were white and pink roses. No idea even. But that wasn't a good start.
That's a bit bad to tell you literally as they're handing it to you.
Yeah. I made a thing of like I wasn't going to cry on my wedding day. I don't know. I didn't want to be one of those people. I mean, if you are one of those people, that's okay. But I just wanted to be happy and enjoy it. But I was kind of seething to start with. And I had a little bit of,
couldn't they?
Yeah.
Just dip them in some paint.
They put a blue ribbon around it for me. That was their gesture of sorry.
I mean, that is literally the minimum they could have done. That was a hiccup, but of course, you carried on. The ceremony itself all go well with the saying of the words, which is always, I found that quite difficult.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned about Colombians having long names. I did stumble over Santi's name a little bit because I think I was trying to say it too fast, and he said I was trying to say it with a Spanish accent. I kind of just laughed it off. But yeah, I did get confused with the vowels as well because maybe I wasn't listening to the briefing. So they were like, we now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. I was like, okay, did that. And I was like, but we haven't done the rings. It's like, no, that's coming. I was like, oh, I didn't know it was like in that order. I don't know. Was it like that at your wedding, if you can remember?
I watched the video and that caught me out as well because I got married in a church and it was very sort of conventional. Here's the rings, pronounce you man and wife, kiss the bride. And then we were very quickly ushered into a corner to sign the book, where we just went with the priest and our witnesses and okay, now everyone can wait for 15 minutes while you painstakingly sign 20 pieces of paper to prove that you're married.
Oh, I didn't have to sign that much.
We had to sign loads.
I swear it was just one signature.
I'm just going to ask you a question. Are you married?
I signed my name on the paperwork.
I just signed one of those maps on the back of a placemat that you get at a kids' restaurant. Just sign that. Oh yeah.
So yeah, that was the ceremony. It was nice. Everyone made it to the wedding, which was a bonus.
Yeah.
All sorts could have gone wrong there, so that was good. And everyone seemed to be enjoying themselves. And then the reception.
Yeah.
Okay.
How's the reception? Did you have a wedding dinner?
So I want to hear
No, that's
firstly, before you say that, what was the reaction to the changing of the dresses? Because you said last time that you
I
had
was
two
gutted
dresses.
with the reaction. There was no reaction.
Oh, I'm gutted for you. Like that was the big surprise, like the change into another dress.
I mean, I didn't change straight away at the reception. I didn't change until after the meal and the speeches. I changed before the first dance, but I literally came down. I think Santi just said to me, I don't know, something casual. I was like, I've changed. I was like, why didn't you tell me? Hello? It was like, yeah. Like, what? And then no one else really said anything. Oh my God, you changed. But I think my mum was saying because my first dress was so nice, I guess the second dress just doesn't have that wow factor.
So you had a sit-down meal.
Yes.
How was that?
It was a little bit disastrous on the starter. So it was prawn Caesar salad or a Waldorf salad starter. I don't really do salads anyway, but I'm not afraid to admit that I get help with my food. I was getting Santi to pick my prawns out for me because I didn't want to eat all the leaves and stuff. Special.
Nice.
I was doing that. And then he's doing that. And then he noticed, oh, I think there's bacon in the salad. And I'm Muslim and a lot of my guests were Muslim. And yes, it turned out there was bacon in the prawn Caesar salad. So we called the wedding planners over and they were saying, oh yes, it should have been on the ingredients. We should have been told. You should have had listing. I was like, no, I didn't have a list of ingredients. There was no way I would have ordered this if I'd known.
Yeah.
And then they're just talking about it. It was my dad that said, like, we need to stop this though. We need to tell people, not to eat it. So my dad did get up and do that. And I think it was just one of my cousins had actually eaten some of the bacon, which is really bad. But that was a big deal. I can't believe that happened when I worked so hard to plan everything, especially all vegan stuff. Make sure all that was all vegan. Didn't even think in a million years that there'd be bacon in a prawn Caesar salad. The main was really nice. My salmon was lovely. Yeah. We also had a donut wall.
How was that?
I didn't try any donuts.
What?
I thought
you
they were
seem so psyched about that as well.
I know, because I thought they were going to be sugar ring donuts and they weren't. They're all different flavors and not. I mean, I think I've still got one in the fridge. I have no idea.
You're not a filled donut lady.
No, custard, yeah, but
man, I'm all about the filled donuts.
Just a bit much. And we also had the fruit tree. The fruit tree was a success. It had little monkeys hanging off it made out of fruit, and people loved that. People really commented about that, so that was cool. I did have a little bit of fruit.
Did you get to feel the tree?
Yes,
you said you might be doing that.
I felt the tree actually after my other visually impaired friends had felt the tree. So an arm had fallen off, which was a banana, I think, and the eyes had fallen off. It became a blind monkey.
Amazing. And then dancing.
Yes.
A lot of dancing.
So I got changed for the first dance, and I don't think I mentioned that we had a choreographed dance. We'd been having dance lessons. So that was a surprise for everybody. I did screw it up a little bit, kicking myself. I kind of blanked out halfway through. I think I was just, I don't know, listening to the crowd. But no, that was really fun, and everybody loved that. We got so many compliments about our dance. And it was the first time I've actually danced since going blind properly, so that was good for me. I was a bit worried I was going to fall off the front of the dance floor, but I didn't. That would have been caught on camera. And I did it in my heels as well, so I'm well impressed.
Nice.
No, it's good. I danced a lot, constantly. I was like making the most of, this is my wedding. I am enjoying every last second. I had a lot of fun. I think everyone else had a lot of fun as well. The guests seemed really happy and no one seemed to be having a bad time. So on the whole, it was a success. The day goes in such a blur though, like I can't remember a lot of it. And I do hate that now everyone's poring over the pictures and I can't really appreciate it in the same way. That it is a bit of a bummer being blind in that sense.
Can you not get them embossed? Like you can get them embossed and then at least sort of have an understanding of how the pictures are laid out? I don't know if that's any.
I don't think that's a thing. I don't know where you could read that. Not
Get me a Tipex pen.
Oh, funny.
Just like snakes and ladders it. I will outline everything in there.
No, because I felt like our decorations and stuff, the flowers that were in the middle of the tables, I couldn't reach them to feel them because they were like in the middle of the table and apparently they were quite up high. So like all that stuff I couldn't appreciate, I guess. So yeah, I mean, I can't change it. I didn't let my blindness ruin my day in any way, you know. I made sure I had a good time, but there are a lot of things you do miss out on. I guess looking at the other guests and seeing if they're happy and, you know, and what everyone else was wearing, I have no idea.
They were all naked. No one told you.
They could have all turned up in bikinis and some man had no idea. But weddings are so much stress leading up to it. The actual day was a lot of fun. And then you think it's all over when it's done and it's not, because now it's like we've still got to do thank you cards to people and it's never ending and sorting out photos into a photo album. And yeah, Santi has been instructed to put our photos onto Facebook, but with a description for every single one. So I think that's going to take a while because I don't just want them up there and me not knowing what they are. Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
Difficult as I am.
Did you spend a few days afterwards in Gibraltar as well as like a honeymoon, or are you going on a separate one?
Yeah, so we did stay. So we got married on the Friday and we came back on the following Wednesday, which was my birthday. We flew back on. It wasn't a restful honeymoon. I mean, and obviously a lot of people were still out there. So we did meet up with people. We did the rock, which so much walking, but that was really enjoyable. I fed some lemurs. That was really cool. Like they've got such cute little hands. I really want to pet a lemur. Went on a dolphin tour, which that was disappointing for me. The boat ride was nice and then they couldn't find the dolphins for ages, but I was expecting to be able to hear them jumping out the water, and there was none of that. I think you could see their fins and you could see them below the water, but that was no use to me. But no, I recommend Gibraltar as a place. I'd go back. I mean, it's obviously a special place for me now, but I'd like to go back and see all the beaches properly, and there was other like places we didn't get to visit. And as that was our honeymoon, but now I've negotiated a mini moon because I said we didn't get time to actually have a rest and have a honeymoon because it was other people. So I need to book a mini moon now.
Nice. Do you have any ideas on that, or?
Oh, just something cheap and chirpy, to be honest. If that's a thing, I don't know. But yeah, see what I can find. Bit of sunshine, beach.
So if we round this off, Selina, what advice would you give to someone? Knowing what you know now, what would you turn around to say to people similar and say you have to do that for your wedding or not to? Like, what worked well? What would you change, like, to make it a better experience for yourself? Not to say it wasn't an amazing experience.
I think I didn't particularly make my wedding blind friendly to myself. I mean, someone else might think they really want to have like a braille cake and stuff or something, and tactile this and tactile. I think it was. Although I
braille cake,
I don't know. It's probably a thing.
It probably is, but okay, not being funny. If you're a wedding guest, right, and you got braille cake, and you got someone fingering that cake, I'm just like, do you want a slice? No, I'm all right, thanks. That's all yours.
I don't know. I'm just like, although I couldn't appreciate my decorations and stuff, I'm glad I didn't make it like a blinky wedding. As I said, there's a lot of visuals I missed out on, and that could have let me get down on the day that I couldn't see this and I couldn't see that and I can't see this, blah blah blah. But it's just, you know, don't focus on the negatives. You only get to do it once, well, supposedly, and so just enjoy it. Don't, you know, yeah, things will go wrong. It doesn't matter. We'll try and not make it matter. I didn't dwell on it on the day. And definitely with the wedding dress, blind brides, go to Wed to Be or a similar shop where you can try wedding dresses on in your size and feel how they look properly, because going to boutiques is just not a fun experience, and you can't tell what the dress is going to look like and feel like. It's a bit risky. You don't have to listen to me either. Do what you want to do. It's your wedding.
You should have done that for your dress too.
Yeah, I should have done, really. Mine didn't fit well at all. Amazing. Well, congratulations officially.
Thank you.
the other host of Seesaw.
Oh, you saluted me on the last podcast.
Yep, we salute you.
No. I brought that up because I thought that was weird. But no,
I don't know.
congratulations.
We salute you.
What even was that?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, we look forward to hearing about Cleese's wedding because he's the next one.
You know what I thought? We look forward to hearing about your divorce next. I don't know about that.
How do we know it's not yours?
Fair point. Well, according to you, I might not be married. Or Selina might not be married. You're poking holes in it all the time.
Sounds like awkward laughter. I'm intrigued.
Well, yeah. Well, I imagine T's definitely married. You, on the other hand, Selina.
Come from me.
Yeah, your license will come at some point. Well, thank you for jumping on, Selina. It's great to hear about the big day.
Now we can get to serious topics with me.
That's enough
too
fun.
much fun.
Yeah, too much fun for you. So next time we're going to be talking about the morbidity of visual impairment.
Yes.
No, we're not. Cool. Right. Well, shall we finish off there?
Yep. I'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Seesaw Podcast.
You can find us on Twitter at Seesaw Pod, Facebook, Reddit, Instagram, and YouTube at Seesaw Podcast. You can also email us at seesawpodcast@gmail.com. Like, rate, review, subscribe, and then you can also find us on TikTok, but get us on all the other places.